Vishnupadaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirane. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pacharine Bhutale. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Would somebody like to recollect last week's class? We'll proceed.
Okay, should I try? Prabhuji? Anyone else wants to speak?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so we spoke about association in 67th verse. It speaks about water droplets which is fallen in the hot iron gets evaporated, but no one even knows about it. If any water was there, some water droplets situated in the Nalini Patra lotus leaf, it shines in the form of the pearl, the same water. The same water droplet, if it falls in the oyster shell in the Swati Nakshatra on the Sagara Shukti, it becomes into a splendid pearl. So in this way, the disposition of men, according to the company he associates with, he develops low, medium, or uttama qualities. So what does a good association do? It can make even unqualified person achieve his goal or achieve impossible. Yourself quoted the example of an ant in the association of flower on the hair of Lord Shiva could perform a feat of touching the moon. And because of association, a person will get the goal in life. He starts following a particular path to attain that goal. And by sadhu sang, one can understand the highest goal of life and he becomes fixed in attaining the highest goal. And by associating with Durjan, he becomes fixed in the wrong things, deeds. Yourself spoke about Dhruva Maharaj example. Bharat Maharaj's example was spoken. Then how in his third life, Jarbharat preaches to Rahugana. Then when we reach the Shastras in our own, we get the knowledge. By hearing the Shastras from Sadhu who live by it, we get the wisdom to apply the Shastric knowledge. When we actually apply the wisdom, knowledge, that is practice in our life, in different situations, we get realizations. This is known as Shakshatkar, and combination of both theoretical knowledge, practical wisdom, and realization is called maturity. Therefore, one should have theoretical knowledge of the Shastra, particular wisdom, practical wisdom of how to apply the Shastra, and learning from the sadhu and actually applying Shastra in our life, living by it, getting realization. Okay, I have again said the same thing. Combination of all is maturity. Even if we associate with Uttama, then we need to know that what attitude one must associate with that person. If we have the right attitude, then we get the benefit. So Devahuti and Kardama Muni example, she laments that she did not take association of a sadhu while being attached to enjoyment and was unaware of his superior condition as a devotee and his with superior detachment. And Amba and Ambalika example was given, how they could not receive the Vishnu Prasad, the Virya of Vyasdev, and Dhritarashtra was reluctant to apply the knowledge, though he had that knowledge, because the mother's reluctance to accept Vyasdev's association. And even Pandu had a disease. And Shudrani had great service attitude. So a great Mahajan Vidura was born. She had the right attitude. And Prahlad Maharaj, he benefited as a great devotee by association with Narad Muni. And Mother Kayadu, she could not achieve transformation because she was attached to material enjoyment. Mahabharat Vanaparva, yardstick to determine what association which we are in. One's intelligence is degraded when we associate with lower class people, remains average when we associate with the average, attains greatness while association with great. So Rup Goswami quotes Hiranyakashipu in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu in Narasimha Purana. A person who takes over the quality of an individual, he associates with that person. Then the example of transparent crystal. Then Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Rupa Goswami says that one must, the purified men, the definition of a sadhu, purified men who are thoroughly honest, who take pleasure in Krishna Katha. One must associate with sadhu who are similar in devotional mood, affectionate towards oneself, more advanced than oneself. A person who has done a lot of punya, he gets a son by a good, who's of a good conduct. Then a woman who desires the welfare of her husband, she's a real wife. That person who's a true friend, who's equal in prosperity and distress, that one is a real friend. Then 6 results of a bad son. What happens is because of a bad son, there's sinful reputation, adharma will arise, quarrel in community, endless anxiety, cause of bondage and illusion, house becomes full of suffering. Also a good wife, a person gets is he's the most fortunate. A chaste wife is a good intelligence of a man. Then Champu Ramayana was quoted how Ram glorified Mother Sita. 69th verse, we didn't do 70th verse. Is those who are glorious due to humility, they obtain progress in their life by glorifying qualities of others. They themselves display their good qualities for the sake of others' benefit. One who puts elaborate endeavor, effort to help others. In this way, he obtains success in his achievements. Somebody who's criticizing with sharp words and encountering with such a person, one who displays tolerance, one who displays forgiveness to such a Durjana. So to see a saint with such a quality is very rare. Such a Sajjad is worshipable by others.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. So, the 70th verse we'll just discuss briefly and then we'll go ahead. 70th verse. नम्रत्वेणोन्नमन्त परगुणकथनैः स्वान्गुणान् ख्यापयन्त स्वार्थान् सम्पादयन्तो विततपृथुतरा रम्भयत्ना परार्थे शान्त्यै वाक्षे परुक्षा क्षरमुकरमुकान् दुर्जनान् दूषयन्त सन्तः साश्चर्यचर्या जगति बहुमता कस्य नाभ्यर्चनीया. So, very beautiful shloka. One second. नम्रत्वेन उन्नमन्तः. नम्रत्वेन उन्नमन्तः. नम्रता से ही उन्नता करने वाले, उन्नति करने वाले. So one who is ennobled by humility, or one who becomes glorious by his, one who progresses through humility, or one who seeks progress in life through humility and not by boasting oneself. Namratvena unnamantaha. Paraguna katanaihi swan gunan kyapayantaha. By glorifying others' good qualities, swan gunan kyapayantaha. दूसरों के गुणों के कथन द्वारा ही अपने गुणों को प्रकट करने वाले. These are something very rare because nowadays generally people they want to speak about themselves. People want to. The whole social media is about facilitating about where a person went, what he did. But this is exactly opposite to that. One who actually seeks, one who actually tries to project oneself by glorifying others. दूसरे के गुणों के कथन द्वारा ही अपने गुणों को प्रकट करने वाले. And then परार्थे वितत पृथुतरा आरंभयत्नाः स्वार्थान् सम्पादयन्तः. Pararte, for the sake of others, vitata prututara arambhayatnaha. Vitata prututara, that means prututara means ati mahan. Vitata means vitata prututara arambhayat. Vitata means vistritah. One makes elaborate, great effort for the sake of others. Arambhayatnaha. दूसरों के लिए परार्थे बड़े भारी कार्यों को करने में फैले हुए उद्योग के द्वारा ही अपने कार्य को सिद्ध करने वाले. So this is about actually putting physical effort for the sake of others. Selflessness. And then the fourth is akshepa rukshakshara mukara mukan. Akshepa rukshakshara mukara mukan durjanan shantya eva dushayantah. This is about tolerating others' harsh words. Akshepena means nindaya. Rukshani means katorani. Ni rasani, katorani. Very harsh words spoken by others to criticize oneself. So mukaram, one who is actually, mukaram means vachalam, one who is expert in speaking harsh words to actually to criticize others. So by hearing such harsh words, durjanan shantya eva, by hearing the harsh words spoken to criticize oneself by the wicked people, but tolerating them by shantya eva dushayantah, tolerating those harsh words. Ninda vachan ke रूके अक्षरों से मुकर मुख वाले दुर्जनों को क्षमा के द्वारा ही अपराधी ठहराने वाले. क्षमा के द्वारा ही अपराधी ठहराने वाले. So all these qualities are very rare qualities actually. All these are आश्चर्य युक्ता. The word used is that स आश्चर्य युक्त आश्चर्यचर्याः बहुमताः सन्तः. Somebody who is having these qualities, something very rare, amazing. These qualities, such kind of santas, jagatihi kasya na abhyarchaniya. Who will not worship such a saint who possesses such amazing qualities? Kasya na abhyarchaniya santi. So this is the beautiful shloka. I'll just discuss few qualities and then we'll go ahead. So humility, if you see in the Bhagavad Gita, the very first process of obtaining knowledge is humility, amanitvam. Humility, Prabhupada says that amanitvam means to not be anxious for being respected by others, to not be anxious for getting respected by others. There's no expectation for respect. Amanina manadena. So Prahlad Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when he begins his prayer, so many devatas tried to pacify Lord Narsingadev. Lakshmi Devi, even she could not pacify Narsingadev. But finally, Prahlad was chosen by Brahma to pacify Narsingadev. And Prahlad begins his prayers with genuine humility. Brahmadaya Suragana Munayota Siddha सत्त्वैकताणगतयो वचसां प्रवाहै नारादितुं पुरुगुणैरधुनापि पिप्रू किं तोष्टुमर्हति समे हरिरुग्रजाते. Prahlad says that how is it possible for me, who have been born in a family of demons, to please the Lord? The Devatas headed by Brahma and the sages were immersed in Sattva-guna, Sattvaikatana-gatayo. They could not properly worship the Lord by streams of excellent words. But I am actually born in a family of demons. I am deeply rooted in Tamoguna. I am not a learner like this Devatas and the sages. I cannot speak properly. How can I actually please you? How can I offer prayers to you? This way Prahlad begins this thing with the humility. So opposite to humility is that pride actually. The Hari Bhakti Vilasa, Sanatan Goswami concludes, Sarva Tyage Ageyaya Sarva Anartha Bhuvaschate Kuryu Pratishta Vishtaya Yatnam Asparshane Varam. Even if one can give up all the material desires, but the desire for fame is very difficult to give up. A humble person does not desire fame. That is what humility means, to not be anxious to being respected by others. But the desire for fame is very difficult to give up. This desire for fame, which is compared to a stool, is the root cause of all the anarthas. Therefore, one should carefully avoid touching this stool-like desire for fame. That way Sanatan Goswami wants us. Some quotes on humility. When pride comes, we are already fallen. What comes after that is only a detail. Radhanath Swami Maharaj quotes. The more you expect in return for what you are doing, the more one will feel loneliness and emptiness. The incessant craving to be recognized is the mind's way of succumbing to the ego. It is a symptom of one who has not tasted the sweetness of glorifying Krishna. When we try to seek respect from others, we should understand that our material fever is increasing. On the other hand, when we give respect to others, we should understand that we are in healthy spiritual condition. There are two types of pride. The first is self-pride, to be proud of oneself. Second is being proud of the person who is bestowing mercy upon us. The first pride leads to fear, but the second pride leads to fearlessness. To be proud of our righteousness is also a sin. When you are proud of your humility, nobody may spot it except the Bhagavan in the heart. He not only spots it, but he will even magnify it. In giving respect, we can be very happy because we can do it in all the situations. But when we expect respect, we will be miserable because it is not that everyone in every situation will respect us. Without humility, one can have knowledge but not realization. At our level, genuine humility is to aspire for genuine humility. If we accept that we are a fool, then we can learn. But don't be a fool, but one should feel like a fool. And if we don't feel like a fool, then we are really a fool. Beautiful quotations given by Raghunath Maharaj. Humility and pride. I just try to repeat it. This is the first quality. Namratvena unnamantaha. So paraguna katanaihi swan gunan kyapayantaha. So actually, to actually glorify others. That is a very important quality. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited many times. He would glorify other devotees as if he would have 5 mouths, as if he would have 100 mouths. He would glorify Vasudev Datta, Haridas Thakur. So, Queen Kunti speaks about Shrinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Abhikshasha Smaranti Nandanti Tave Hitam Jana. One who takes pleasure in others performing, others' advancement. Such a person very quickly attains the lotus feet of the Lord. So, Paraguna Katanaihi Swan Gunan Kyapayantaha. And then Swartan Sampadayantu Vidata Prututara Arambayatna Pararte. Basically helping others, selfless service to others. So Krishna in the Bhagavatam, he's actually seeing the set of trees. And then by seeing the trees, he's telling to his friends, He Stoka Krishna, He Amsho, Sridamam Subalarjuna, Vishala Vrishabau Jaswin, Deva Prastavarutapa, Pashyataitan Mahabhagan, Parartaikanta Jivitan, Vatavarsha Sakanto Varayantina. He Stoka Krishna, Amshu, Sridama, Subala, and Arjuna, Vishala, Vrishaba, Vojasvi, Devaprastha, and Varutapa. Just see these greatly fortunate trees, whose lives are completely dedicated to the benefit of others. Even while tolerating the wind, rain, heat, and snow, they protect us from these elements. Ako yesham varam janma sarvaprapyupajeevanam sujanasyeva yesham vai vimuka yanti nartinah. So just see how these trees are maintaining every living entity. And their birth is successful, and their behavior is just like that of the Sujana, great personalities. Because anybody who asks anything from a tree never goes away disappointed. Vimuka yanti nartinaha. Patra pushpa palachaya moola valkala darubihi. Gandha niryasa basmasti tokmai kaman vitanvate. These trees fulfill one's desires with their leaves, flowers, and fruits, their shade, roots, bark, and wood, and also with their fragrance, sap, ashes, pulp, and the shoots. And then finally he says, Yetavajjanma sapalyam dehinamiha dehishu pranair arthair diyavacha shreya acharanam sada. It is a duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with one's life, wealth, intelligence, and words. This is something about helping others. Krishna is glorifying the trees. So this particular story, to that story, it is better to be a selfless, immobile trees than to be a selfish brahmanas. Because the brahmanas, they did not give food when the cowherd boys went and asked. And then the fourth quality is that, this is a very difficult quality, Akshepa Rukshakshara Mukan Shantya Yeva. So Durjanan Akshepa Rukshakshara Mukara Mukan Shantya Yeva Dushayantaha. So there are evil speakers whose mouths are full of harsh and slanderous words. Harsh and slanderous words. But those by Shantya, by their patience, those you tolerate, By tolerance itself, they rebuke. By exhibiting tolerance, they rebuke these harsh and slanderous words. So we see this particular quality. Krishna himself is speaking about the Avanti Brahmana. He says that Bargaspatya sa nastyatra saduruvai durjane ritaihi duruktair binnamatmanam yas samadhatum ishvaraha. O disciple of Brihaspati, O Uddhava, there is virtually no saintly man in this world who is capable of resettling one's own mind after it has been unsettled or disturbed by the insulting words of the uncivilized man. It's very difficult. Practically, Krishna is saying there is no saintly man who is capable of resettling his own mind. And then he says, Natata tapyate vidda human banaistu marmagai yata tudanti marmastha yasatam parusheshavah. Sharp arrows which pierce one's chest and reach the heart do not cause as much suffering as the arrows of harsh, insulting words that become lodged within the heart when spoken by uncivilized men. And then he says that in this regard, I will narrate a most pious story. Please listen with careful attention. And then he speaks the story of the Avanti Brahmana. This is an example of this. Avanti Brahmana tolerating the harsh, slanderous words. Another example is when Daksha Prajapati cursed Narada Muni. What was the response of Narada Muni? So in the 6th canto, 5th chapter, Daksha Prajapati curses Narada Muni, and then he speaks very harsh words and finally curses him that he will not be able to stay in a particular place beyond 3 days. So Narada Muni is hearing that curse, and what was the response? Prati jagraha tadbhadam Narada sadhu sammatah etavan sadhuvadohi titikshe teshvara swayam. So Narada Muni of saintly conduct, when he was thus cursed by Prajapati Daksha, accepted the curse. Although capable of cursing Daksha, Narada tolerated him, since that is the nature of a saintly person. So Narada Muni could have counter-cursed Daksha, but he tolerated it. So here Prabhupada says that what was the thought process of Narada Muni? So Narada Muni came there in order to give mercy to Daksha. But when he heard the criticisms of Daksha, why did Narada not leave that place? So Narada was thinking, so controlled by anger, let Daksha criticize me a lot. Let him curse. And that is the result of anger. And then when his anger subsides, he will see that I did not criticize him or curse him in return. And I tolerated everything. Then he will repent that he has criticized and cursed a devotee of the Lord. Like the Kumaras when they went to the gates of Vaikuntha. So when he will repent, at that time he will be a suitable field, his heart will be a suitable field for me to sow the seed of bhakti. So then I will at that time also the seed of bhakti, pure bhakti in him. So thinking in that way, Narada Muni remained there for a proper moment. But then Daksha Prajapati, he was so hard-hearted that even after cursing Narada Muni, he did not become repentant. That was the hard-hearted nature of Daksha Prajapati. So seeing that, then Narada Muni left. And then Narada Muni thought that, oh, what power, the remnants of the offense to Lord Shiva. Because he has committed offense to Lord Shiva previously, and Lord Shiva is the Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. So the remnants of that offense is such that even after criticizing me, he did not become repentant. Although by seeing that I did not counter person. So this is the power of the offense to Lord Shiva. In this way, Narada Muni exhibited tolerance. The third example is the Vidura. So when Dhritarashtra asked for consultation from Vidura, Vidura said that Dhritarashtra is fault personified because he hates the Supreme Lord. But Duryodhana is fault personified because he hates the Supreme Lord. But this Duryodhana has entered your house and he has entered your mind and intelligence, and you support him and consider him as your son. But because he rejects Krishna, Lakshmi has departed from your house. Immediately give up this inauspicious Duryodhana for the benefit of the entire Kula. But when Duryodhan saw that Vidura has given this advice, Duryodhan, his lips trembled in anger. And then Duryodhan told that in the open assembly, who has called this wicked son of a maidservant into the assembly? Betraying those people who have nourished him, he supports our enemy. Drive him out of the city with only his breath. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he met Vidura, Vidura returned from the pilgrimage, Yudhishthira Maharaj said that Bhavadvida Bhagavata Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantastena Gadabrata. He said that you are the personification of the holy places. Wherever you go, you convert that place into a holy place. But exactly opposite to that, Duryodhan tells about Vidura. Vidura is inauspicious like a place where they burn dead bodies. Vidura is like a personification of a crematorium. Remove this person from this house because he is creating inauspiciousness for me. Do it quickly, otherwise the whole kingdom will become inauspicious. So we see the exactly opposite conceptions of Vidura, of Duryodhana and Yudhishthira towards Vidura. And that is what Krishna says that Yanisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sanisha Pashyato Munehe. The self-realized person and the materialist, they have exact opposite conceptions. What is night for a self-realized is a day for the materialist and vice versa. So Vidura, when he heard this harsh, slanderous words spoken by Duryodhan, what is the response of Vidura? Sayittam at ulbanakarnabanair Bratupuro marmasutaditopi Swayam danur dwarinida yamayam Gatavyato yadurmanayana. So stuck to his nerves by the sharp words of Duryodhan, directly spoken in front of him, considering that this is simply an action of Maya. Without pain, Vidura placed his bow at the door and he left the place. He left the palace. So when the sharp words entered the Vidura's ears like arrows, hitting the sensitive spots, so Vidura did not defend himself, or Vidura did not actually retaliate himself. Vidura felt that you have blessed me, Duryodhan. You have dispelled my suffering completely. Because being driven out of the palace, living in some distant, lonely, holy place, being completely detached, what pain can I suffer? Having given up attachment to persons like you. So Vidura considered that Duryodhana is acting under the external energy of the Lord. The Prabhupada says that in this instance, both the external energy and the internal energy acted. The external energy acted by making Duryodhan speak those harsh words. And the internal energy liberated Vidura from the association of the Kauravas, and therefore Vidura could go to the holy places and then get the association of Maitreya Rishi. So this is the 78th shloka. We'll go to the next shloka. Bhavanti namrastarava palodghamai नैवाम्बुभिर् दूरविलम्बिनो घनाः अनुद्रुता सत्पुरुषा समृद्धिभिः स्वभावयैवैष परोपकारिणाम्. So this is about the section about the paropakara. Paropakara. Now this section is starting on the paropakara. So Taravaha Palodgamaihi Namraha Bhavanti. Taravaha means trees. Palodgamaihi. Palodgamaihi means filled with the fruits. Palanam Pradurbhavaihi. Namraha Bhavanti. So when the tree is filled with the fruits, the trees actually bend down. Namraha Bhavanti. So पल आने से वृक्ष झुक जाते हैं. और गणाः नवाम्बुभिः दूर विलंबिनः भवन्ति. गणाः means what? The clouds. Nava ambubihi. When the clouds are filled with water. Nava ambubihi. Naye jal se. When the clouds are filled with fresh water. Dura vilambinaha bhavanti. That means the clouds also come down actually. नए जल से बादल दूर तक लटक जाते हैं, मतलब झुक जाते हैं. The clouds also come down. They also actually they bend down. And then satpurushaha samruddhibihi anudrutaha bhavanti. Anuddataha bhavanti. Similarly, satpurushas, great people, when they become prosperous, anuddutaha bhavanti. Anuddataha bhavanti. Anuddataha means na uddataha. That means vinitaha. They become humble actually. During prosperity, they become humble. Anuddataha bhavanti. So, yeshaha paropakarinam swabhavaha evaha asti. This is the natural disposition of the paropakaris. So, we see that generally when people become prosperous, they become elated or they start enjoying indiscriminately. That is why Prabhupada once said that Krishna tested me twice. Once by taking away everything from me, another time by giving everything to me. So those people who are the nature of the saintly people, when they become prosperous, they become actually humble. They help others. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a similar example, the Keshav Kashmiri episode. How the trees, when they become filled with the fruits, they bend down. Similarly, a man filled with good qualities, he remains humble. He does not become proud. This is the 71st shloka. So I will not elaborate much. We will go to the next shloka. Next shloka also we will discuss briefly because we saw similar shloka before. Shrotram shrutenaiva na kundalena danena panir natu kankanena vibhati kaya karuna paranam paropakarir natu chandanena. So the real ornament of the ear is not kundala but shruta. The real ornament of the ear is basically hearing the shastra, not kundala. And the real ornament of the hand, panihi danena vibhati kankanena tuna. The real ornament of the hand is not the bracelet, but it is giving charity. And Karuna Paranam Kayaha Paropakaraihi Vibhati. The real ornament of the body is not anointing oneself with the chandan. It is basically helping others. Karuna Paranam Kayaha, helping others. So कान शास्त्र श्रवण से ही शोभित होता है, कुंडल से नहीं. हाथ दान से शोभित होता है, कंकन से नहीं. उसी प्रकार दयालु पुरुषों का शरीर परोपकारों से शोभित होता है, चंदन से नहीं. So we discussed many shlokas. Paropakara we already discussed. So generally we see one of the biggest industry is the cosmetic industry. Cosmetic industry is the $1 billion industry, and this industry some industries will never become actually like, they will never collapse actually. For example, sometime software industry may collapse. Suppose if everything becomes automated or everything becomes software driven, or certain other industries can collapse. But certain cosmetic industry will never collapse, because cosmetic industry is based on basically bodily consumption, identification of the body, and that will only increase more and more as Kali Yuga progresses. But this verse says that the real ornaments of the ear is actually Shastra Shravana. It gives a complete paradigm shift. What is the real ornament for the body, ear, and the hand, etc. So this is the shloka. Go to the next shloka. Papan nivarayati yojayate hitaya गुह्यं निगूहति गुणान् प्रकटीकरोति आपद्गतं च न जहाति ददाति काले सन्मित्रलक्षणमिदं निगदन्ति सन्तः. Again, a very beautiful shloka about the qualities of a real friend. So the whole social media, Facebook, one may have thousands of friends. But what are the qualities of a real friend? So Santah Sanmitra Lakshanam Idam Nigadanti. So Santah, saintly people, they describe the Lakshana of the good friends in this way. Nigadanti means what? Katayanti, they describe in this way. So what is the first quality? Papat Nivarayati. A real friend will actually will stop a person, will stop his friend from doing a papa. Nivarayati means nivartayati. So मनुष्य को पाप से रोकता है, पापान निवारयति. And second, hitaya yojayate. Hitaya yojayate. That means that will give really benefit the person. The real friend will actually help him to do that particular activity. Hitaya yojayate. कल्याण की कामों में लगाता है. He will make him do good beneficial activities. And then guhyam niguhati. He will not reveal the secrets of his friend. Niguhati means guhyam is the secret. Niguhati means nitaram samrunoti sarvata gopayati ityartha. That means he will maintain the confidentiality of the secrets revealed by the friend. Gunan prakati karoti. Gunan prakati karoti. He will actually describe the qualities of his friend in front of others. Gunan prakati karoti. That means Gunan prakashayati. And then the next quality is apadgatam na jahati. During times of difficulty, he will never give up his friend. Apadgatam na jahati. And then last is Kalecha dadati. At the right time, he will actually give charity to the friend or he will help the friend. Kalecha dadati. Samay padne par wo deta hai. These are the qualities of a real friend. Of course, from moral point of view, we can see this shloka also from a spiritual point of view. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came to Jagannath Puri, he told his devotees, Nitya, I think 4 devotees came along with Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Mukunda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that, you are my real friend because you have brought me to take darshan of Jagannath. You are my real friend. You have done real benefit to me. So from the topmost point of view, from a spiritual point of view, the real friend is somebody who brings a person close to Krishna, who remains a person about Krishna. So these qualities are also described regarding the real friends. Next verse, we'll go to the next shloka. Padmakaram dinakaro vikachīkaroti chandro vikasayati kairava chakravalam नाभ्यर्थितो जलधरोऽपि जलं ददाति सन्तस्वयं परहिते विहिताभियोगा. So the friends we have in the, say, Facebook, actually they are actually contacts we have. We cannot call them truly as friends from the point of view of the qualities mentioned here. So, but they are called as the friends. So now the 74th shloka. पद्माकरम दिनकरो विकचीकरोति चंद्रो विकासयति कैरव चक्रवालम नाभ्यर्थितः. नाभ्यर्थितः, should this word should be added. नाभ्यर्थितः. नाभ्यर्थितः means न अभ्यर्थितः, that means अप्रार्थितः. Even to those people who don't beg. नाभ्यर्थितः दिनकरः पद्माकरम विकचीकरोति. दिनकरः means sun. Padmakaram vikachīkaroti. Padmakara refers to lotus or Padmanam akaraha. Padmakaram means Padmanam akaraha. Akara is the form or the rupa of the lotus. Padmakaram vikachīkaroti. So the sun, it blossoms the lotus, although not asked by the lotus. नाभ्यर्थितः दिनकरः पद्माकरं विकचीकरोति. And then नाभ्यर्थितः चंद्रः कैरव चक्रवालं विकासयति. So kairava chakravala is another flower. So the moon actually makes the kairava chakravala blossom, although the kairava chakravala did not ask from the Chandra. And then again nabhyartitaha should be used. Nabhyartitaha jaladaraha api jalam dadati. Jaladaraha means the clouds. So the clouds, they give water even to those places where which is not a need or even without being asked. Nabhyartitaha jaladaraha api jalam dadati. So similarly, he santaha swayam parahite vihita abhiyogaha bhavanti. So similarly, the saintly people, on their own, they help others even without being asked by others. So बिना प्रार्थना किए ही सूर्य कमल के समूह को विकसित करता है. अब बिना प्रार्थना किए ही चंद्रमा कैरवों के समूह को प्रफुल्लित करता है तथा मेघ प्राणियों को जल देता है. बिना प्रार्थना किए ही. उसी तरह सज्जन लोग अपने आप ही दूसरों की भलाई में लगे रहते हैं. Similarly, the great people on their own, even without being asked, they are engaged in the welfare of others. Again, this theme is coming in the paropakara. Paropakara, the same theme. So maybe we'll take one more shloka in the end. This is a very beautiful shloka. Again, this is in the theme of paropakara, but 4 categories of people are being spoken. ये ते सत्पुरुषा परार्थघटका स्वार्थं परित्यज्य ये सामान्यास्तु उद्यमभृत स्वार्था विरोधेन ये तेमी मानव राक्षसा परहितं स्वार्थाय विघ्नन्ति ये विघ्नन्ति निरर्थकं परहितं ते केन जानीमहे. So ते सत्पुरुषाः एके सन्ति ये स्वार्थं परित्यज्य परार्थघटकाः भवन्ति. So संसार के कुछ लोग, very few people, they are actually sajjana. Such kind of sajjana, they actually give up their swartha in order to help others. Swartham parityajya parartha gatakaha bhavanti. The selfless people, sajjana, saintly people. And this is the first line. And then there are ordinary people or average people. Samanyaha ye swartha avirodena parartham udyamabhritaha bhavanti. The average people, they will help others as long as their self-interest is not compromised. Ye swartha avirodena parartham udyamabhritaha bhavanti. They will help others as long as their self-interest is not, as long as they don't encounter any problem. Or as long as they are also going to get some benefit. कुछ लोग साधारण श्रेणी के होते हैं जो अपने स्वार्थ के विरुद्ध न जाकर दूसरों के लिए उद्यम करते हैं. So as long as their swartha is not compromised, only to that extent they will help others. When their swartha gets compromised, then they will not help others. This is the average kind of people. And then third line, te ami manusha rakshasaha santi ye swarthaya parahitam nignanti. But then there are actually rakshasas among the human being. These people, for the sake of one's own self-interest, they will actually, they give trouble to others. Parahitam nignanti. They will destroy others. So जो अपने स्वार्थ के लिए दूसरे के हित का नाश करते हैं, वे मनुष्यों में राक्षस स्वरूप हैं, मानुष राक्षसाः. And then the fourth category, ये तु निरर्थकं परहितं घ्नन्ति ते के सन्ति वयं न जानीमहे. At least the third category of people, for the sake of one's self-interest, they give trouble to others. But the fourth category of people, without any reason, nirarthakam, without any reason, they give trouble to others. Causelessly, just like we say, causelessly merciful, similarly, causelessly giving trouble to others without any reason. Ye tu nirarthakam parahitam gnanti. I previously gave the example of, I think, Stalin and Mao. Nirarthakam parahitam gnanti. te ke santi vayam na janimege. I don't know what kind of people they are. परंतु जो व्यर्थ ही दूसरों के हित का नाश करते हैं वे कौन है यह हम नहीं जानते. In this way, this verse talks about four categories of people: selfless people, average people, selfish people for one, those who are selfish, and fourth is causelessly giving trouble to others without any reason. So, in this way, saw these shlokas. Next shloka we will take next class. So, I want to actually end this Niti Shataka as soon as possible, maybe in a month's time or something. At least I will cover 5 shlokas in a class, 5 to 6. So we have around 110 shlokas or something, 108, 110. So if anybody wants to share anything, they can share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.
Very good.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to share that where the qualities of Durjana was said that when the heart is pierced, even the saintly persons find it very difficult. So the Avanti Brahmana's quality was explained. So, Prabhu, can we also say that Maharaj Bharat, when he was taken birth as and known as Jad Bharat, so his brothers also were not treating him well, and even Maharaj Rahugana insulted him. So he also tolerated such words. And also, I remember that in one of the class, I heard that Vidura was such a great personality that the Lord, while returning back to his own abode, he remembered Vidura. So we can understand how greatness the devotion of Vidura and qualities were. Because the Lord says that always think of me to the devotees. And here the Lord is remembering the Vidura. So how great the Vidura's qualities are there.
Yes.
And Prabhuji, can you please share that verse number of Chaitanya Charitamrita where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that you are my only real friend? Because this year I am going through very much financial difficulty and my yatra is sponsored by one of my friends. So I just wanted that verse. So thank you. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing. Jada Bharat, actually, Jada Bharat, there is a verse in the Bhagavatam. There were some waves of dissatisfaction in the mind of Jada Bharata due to his being insulted by King Rahugana, who made him carry his palanquin. But Jada Bharata neglected this, and his heart again became calm and quiet like an ocean. Although King Rahugana had insulted him, he was a great Paramahamsa. Being a Vaishnava, he was naturally very kind-hearted, and he therefore told the king about the constitutional position of the soul. He then forgot the insult because King Rahugana pitifully begged pardon at his lotus feet. And after this, he began to wander all over the earth just as before. Verse comes in 5th canto.
Thank you. Prabhu.
Anybody else wants to share? We'll stop here. So we'll try to cover at least 5 shlokas in a class so that we finish in maybe 5, 6 classes or something. That's it. unless unless I get carried away by some slokas. So there are some very beautiful shloka. Every shloka is it's a general niti, but a very beautiful way of thinking and for the categories of people. Then all these examples which we see. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.